struggle during this time. But just at the glance, you're seeing that the principal secretaries, ambassadors, and high commissioners, you're seeing the deputy ambassadors also, who were reassigned and becoming moved. Then we see be having other stories, opposition, about oppositions and their possible thinking towards the reshuffling of the cabinet secretaries. Now we have them back, and we want to continue with Arasa Makor. You can continue from where you lost.
Yeah, so as I was saying, President is trying to balance between how practical his promises during the campaigns and what is the current situation that we have in the country based on the economy, the political expectations of the people, and other factors. So for the Mwaura as a person, he's a sharp guy, as I told you in the onset. Mwaura has served in very senior positions in the political landscape. He was at some point a senior advisor to the Prime Minister back then, Raila Odinga, on special interest groups. Now, him coming to the docket of government spokesperson is an added advantage to the government, and I can say is equal to the task. He has the right education for the task. He's eloquent, and the guy is sharp. He has the experience. He brings in the experience, and again, he brings in the balance of. If you look at this appointment in terms of Mwaura being a person living with a disability, is an added credit to the government.
Those are the thoughts and views of our analyst today, Arasa Makor, is terming Isaac Mwaura to be a sharp politician who once worked as an advisor to the former Prime Minister Raila Odinga, and one whom Raila terms to be his child, I mean. Now, come on, Justice Tinega.
Emmanuel, thank you for the opportunity. I'll begin by defining Isaac Mwaura with only four attributes. One, Isaac Mwaura is a very productive guy, and two, Isaac Mwaura, despite the fact that he is from the minority group, is a very confident guy, and thirdly, he's loyal to and very supportive to the president. You've seen him muscle up all over during the campaigns, trying to sell the name of William Ruto and the agenda that he had to Kenya. Also, by the fact that Isaac Mwaura is from the PWD group, gives him even an upper hand. You know, it's not easy to get someone like Isaac Mwaura in who is confident despite the fact that he comes from the PWD group. So you will agree with me that the president, despite the fact that he wants to have that balance in his government, he also wants productivity. He wants to ensure that he has somebody who speaks on behalf of what the government is doing in a very right way, and in a way that will ensure that his agenda is realized. So the president wanted to give an award and also to ensure that there is that balance in his appointments. You can see that in yesterday's reshuffles, we had a lot of women coming in, and now we have this guy from the PWD group. I think the advisors of the president are doing well, and you know we need this balance in government to give that comparison now between the previous cabinet, which consisted of a lot of gents, and now this one that now we have a female already coming in. Which one is being more productive? So there is that balance, and again there is that productivity that is in Isaac Mwaura that has made him to rise into that position, which is a very senior position from my point of view. Because anything that the president is doing, Isaac Mwaura is the one who is going to be informing the Kenyans.
Now, you've talked about the females. Actually, it was only a reshuffle in the 8 cabinet secretaries. So we have Aisha Jumwa, who now is going to serve under the docket of gender, culture, and arts and heritage. We have Maino Rebecca, who is now moving to the trade, industry and investment. We have Alice Wahome, moving to Minister of Lands, Public Works, Housing and Public Development. We have Penina Malonza, who is now moving to the docket that Maino had. That's for East African Community, the ACLs, and regional development. So seemingly there were 4 men and 4 female leaders in the reshuffle as per to yesterday. We'll be talking briefly about Aisha Jumwa. As well as saying that Moses Kuria now is going to take notes for Aisha Jumwa. Arasa, your thoughts on Aisha Jumwa briefly before we move on?
Yeah, I really don't have much about Aisha Jumwa. But I think the ministry will now be much stronger than it was, because to me, Aisha Jumwa was not performing to expectations in regards to what the president promised us, because we had at some point Aisha Jumwa saying that I don't know about salaries and such. She had her share of mistakes also, and I was expecting one of those people who might be the first to exit the Kenya Kwanza government if delivery was to be put on top of the list, was Aisha Jumwa. But I'm not trying to say that she cannot perform, but she was given a docket that was not fit for.
To give us and even explain to us that all governments need a Moses Kuria. Who is this Moses Kuria? Every government needs a Moses Kuria. And maybe Arasa, if I can ask you, in the former government, who was a Moses Kuria now?
The former government had Moses Kuria.
Oh, the former government had Moses Kuria. You see Moses Kuria is coming up from Dubai, he's coming and joining PNU, he's joining Kibaki campaign, he's becoming the MP Gatudu, he's now moving and supporting William Ruto, he's becoming the trend. So there could be something special in this Moses Kuria.
The reason as to why I say that every government needs a Moses Kuria. This is the global south. That's how ideologically we refer to when the global south. Sometimes we need to step out of our mandate in order to deliver. And you need people like Moses Kuria to test the waters for you. Moses Kuria can say anything, and nothing will happen to him, because people are now used to him as whoever he is. So you need him to test the waters for you. You can apologize later, but that was you trying to do something indirectly. Yeah, he has the courage to do anything.
Tinega, do you understand who is a Moses Kuria?
I do understand who is a Moses Kuria, and just as Arasa said, every government needs this Moses Kuria. Maybe in the previous government, maybe Moses Kuria was a minor, but right now he has all the powers, he has all the trust from the president. He has what it takes to just speak out and speak for the government. Sometimes we trolled Moses Kuria from our point of view, thinking that we are just fighting him, and maybe he has just come to test if I say this, how will it affect the leadership? If I say this, how will it be of positive impact or a negative impact to the president? So I do understand. I do understand with the Moses Kuria, and we really need
Recently,
to.
recently we had him say chimba visima vyenu vya mafuta. We had him the other day saying acha tufungue hizi server pengine pengine tutakuwa tumechezwa It's hard becoming a Moses Kuria in Kenya.
Not really hard. I know it's the best thing that one can be. Being in a position where you have that freedom to say anything. Maybe to help you understand better who a Moses Kuria is. Before Moses Kuria, we had Moses Kuria. If you can understand in that context. There's a time we had a certain politician in Kenya called Kihika Kimani, the father to the Nakuru governor. That is the man who used to play the role of Moses Kuria.
And Uhuru Kenyatta.
We had another man called Kapondi. Some people to some extent to assist the governments to test the waters before they dive.
Those are the thoughts of our analysts, Arasa Makori and Justus Tinega, arriving at the point that every government needs a Moses Kuria to be testing waters for the government, to be seeing what could be the possible reaction and what will happen if the other things can happen. Can we say that Cherargei is becoming another Moses Kuria?
In a way.
Yes, because now you see Moses Kuria has been given a role which is not supposed to do much of politics. So he's trying to learn on how to take a backseat, which is very hard for him. That's why sometimes we hear him talk of sentiments like Chimba Visima. So they're trying to mentor Cherargei. Moses Kuria does it much better. And by the way, Manuel.
Yes.
Much important and good for those power brokers and people who invest much in politics. Not a bad role, actually. It's a good role because that is what you need for survival. After gaining power, you need to maintain power. And to maintain power, you need some extra measures beyond the book of scripts for you to maintain that power.
The political analyst Herman Manyora says that you need a hardware in politics and a software. By the role of Moses Kuria could be termed that of software, that you need to play politics for you to keep in position for some time and maybe be able to deliver. Now, quickly, before we come to the end, we have some 5 minutes remaining. I wanted to pose this question to you, my analyzers, and maybe those who follow in keenly. Is it important or very crucial for the President William Ruto now to reshuffle maybe the internal security as a docket, the education, the health? So the big names, as we've been seeing, it's Kindiki, Kithure, and we've been seeing Ezekiel Machogu being termed maybe as the best performing CS for the past 1 year. The likes of Adin Duale and all others. Now, Arasa, is it important for the president also to reshuffle maybe key cabinet secretaries, like maybe for education, for internal security, for defense? What are your thoughts there?
In fact, to be honest, the first person I expected to be given lighter roles when this reshuffle was being done was the CS for Education, Ezekiel Machogu, because he's a good man, a gentleman, but I think that docket seems much heavy for him. But for the Minister of Interior, I think the gentleman is doing a good job. Let's give credit where it's due. But for education and health, let's just concentrate on those two. I think these two should have been moved. Maybe for me, if I was the president, bad luck that I'm not one, I could have moved the CS for health to tourism and maybe bring in another guy who is much more conversant with it, because you've seen how the lady has handled the issue of NHIF, a whole minister coming to the public and saying that there are cartels who are much more powerful than me. That is not the correct wording for a civil servant of a caliber. And then for education, Machogu was doing well until he started receiving some opposition from his background, that is Kisii County, and then the way he has handled this thing of CBC is not a good, I cannot call it a good way, because it has had a fair share of troubles for him, but he's learning. Maybe if he's given 2 years, he can adjust well. But you see, that is the problem now. Learning while you're on the job. You need to learn before you're given the job. So for him, he's learning on the job, which is wrong. But for the interior docket, I think Professor Kiture is doing a good job. The way he has handled even the bandits in the North Rift, all the issues surrounding the immigration and civil registration, he's doing a good job. And he's staying away from politics, which he's supposed to do.
Just as Tineg.
From my point of view, maybe I start by analyzing. You said we focus on the three dockets. That's the Interior Ministry, the Education Ministry, and the health sector. The health ministry. You have seen the analysis that has been done previously, and you can agree with me that Professor Kidure, we have CS Machogu, have been always topping the list, meaning these people are very productive. And the president is watching, and the president listens to the people. If the people are saying that this person is performing well in your government, don't need to maybe try reshuffle him or her, or try maybe to demote that person. So the interior cabinet secretary, the president did well to retain him, and I pray that Professor Kidure, unless or otherwise, he should just serve for the 5 years as the interior cabinet secretary. He is doing a good job, and it shall go down in history that Kidure Kindiki did 1, 2, and 3 to the government of President Dr. William Ruto. Now, to the education docket, the education docket is one of the hardest dockets to learn in this country. You know that. But CS, the cabinet secretary, Honorable, the name is disappearing a little bit. Yeah, Honorable Ezekiel Machogu is doing a good job. He's doing a good job despite the opposition. Again, from being a politician to now being the cabinet secretary, and now you have to deliver to the people. Sometimes it's hard, and sometimes maybe someone is not prepared for the same. Personally, from the point of the point of appointment, I was never sure that Ezekiel Machogu will deliver just as he has done. So I want to give credit to Ezekiel, and maybe let's give him 1 more year. If the president well wishes, let's give him more 1 year to see how much he can take the docket. To the health ministry.
Now,
Health
Tine, we will be running out of time. Maybe we create another time again and discuss this in length. Now, in just 2 words is the reshuffle of the cabinet secretaries affecting Mlima Kenya. You know, without Mlima Kenya in the country, we can say that watu wa Mlima Kenya wameguswa. Have they been touched either in a positive or negative way in the reshuffling of the cabinet? We start with Aras.
I don't think that this cabinet reshuffle has got anything to do with the political alignment of the Mount Kenya region. To me, if you ask me, the region is stable as it should be politically. So this one has nothing, because nobody has lost. They have not lost the dockets that they were anticipating for. And maybe someone might look at it from an angle that these people are industrious, you know, they like doing business, but Moses Kuria had been moved to another different docket. But you must also understand how there's been this whole issue of shares. Some people coming in to say that this region is receiving more appointments and employment opportunities than the others. And now we have Moses Kuria in the public service. I don't think there's a loss for them. It's just a win situation for them.
Just as Tinega, is it a win for Mlima Kenya or they have not been touched?
Since there was no cabinet secretary who came from, who was not part of the first cabinet, the cabinet setup. Since there was nobody who went out and nobody came in, I don't think that there was any effect towards Mulima Kenya. So it is just the same people that were appointed from Mulima Kenya are the same people who are still holding positions in the cabinet, which we said from the beginning that all cabinet dockets are the same. Whether you are from tourism, whether you are in education, whether you come from health, you all have the same powers. So there was no win, there was no lose. The ground still remains the same.
Now, we've come on to the end of the morning news, the breakfast news here in Channel 7 East Africa, together with Kenyan News Alert. We've been having our analyst today, one, Arasa Makori, who've been helping us diving into more understanding of what needs to be done in reshuffling the cabinet so as to increase productivity. He has told us on the importance to understand and having a Moses Kuria in your garment. We'll be looking forward to be having more and more these discussions with you, Arasa Makori. And together with him was Justus Tinega, who has helped us also understand more of the bottom-up modeled approach and how to be achieved by the shuffling of the cabinet secretaries. Now, one last word and saying goodbye to the viewers, Rasa Makori. Say goodbye to our viewers.
Yeah, thank you for having me, Emmanuel. It's a pleasure for me to be joining you this morning, and I look forward to more of these conversations. Thank you so much.
You can't greet some 2 or 3 people. Anyway, Justus Tinega.
Let me take this wonderful time to thank you, Emmanuel, and to thank all the viewers who have joined us for this light conversation about the reshuffle of the government, the cabinet secretary. It's a privilege, and I can't take that for granted. I also look forward to be having such meetings and discussing matters affecting the country. Thank you.
Those are the parting shots from our analysts, Arasa Makori and Justus Tinega. I was your moderator and host, Emmanuel Bosire. Thank you for having time joining Kenya News Alert Morning Breakfast News together with Channel 7. Goodbye until we meet in the next program.